she goes. Flat, 9 o'clock, high. Findaway, Bombay doors closing. Okay to turn, Frank. Okay, Lord, get out of here. Let's go. Flag take up a heading of 311 degrees. Let's get the hell out of here. Yes, that's 9th Air Force tactical bombing and teamwork over Quail-Duke, Germany. Flag's still coming up. We're getting out of it now. The rest of our box formation is coming out after unloading. They're going up now. We're heading home over mid-A-26 medium bomber over Germany. This is your AAF combat reporter returning you to the United States.
This is an official report from the War Department, addressed to the men and women who make the AT-9 and the parts which go into it. Lieutenant Mark H. Gilman, a pilot who has made 11 bombing raids on Germany and Nazi-held France, wants to tell you about the AT-9 in which he got his training to bomb the Axis. Lieutenant Gilman.
I was flying a B-17 over France and Germany. I guess the main thing I owe to the AT-9 is practice in operating a twin-engine plane. It wasn't just a matter of learning to synchronize the RPMs on two engines, though that was important. It was the practice we got in single-engine operation and learning how to handle things with only the other one going. That training has meant a plenty to me since I've been in combat. I've been on 11 raids over Germany and Nazi-held France, and in that time I've had a lot of engines shot out. Our B-17, Jack the Ripper, has only got 2 of its original engines left. The number 2 engine is the 3rd one we've had, and we're on our 2nd in number 3. One day when we were raiding Lorient, the Nazi sub-base on the French coast, a bunch of Focke-Wulfs caught us right over the target. Just the same, we completely plastered their sub-pens, and our general-purpose bombs chewed some mighty big holes in their repair shops. But they hit our oil line right behind the sump and shot out one of the engines. From then on, until we were well out to sea, those Focke-Wulfs stayed with us. I had to feather the propeller of the engine that was shut out so we wouldn't get too much vibration. That's something I learned from the AT-9. I've had about 300 or 400 hours of flying since I left Lubbock. I had only 60 there, but every one of those hours count, for a lot more than I ever thought they would. Combat seems like a big thing, but its success all depends on the training you get. It's a long way from Lubbock to Lorient, but what we did to that sub-base really began with what we learned in our trainer planes.
This is an official report from the War Department, addressed to the men and women helping to make AT-7s and the parts which go into them. You are about to hear an interview with Lieutenant William C. Leisure, navigator of a flying fortress named Jack the Ripper, which for 5 months during last fall and winter blasted the Nazis in Germany itself and in occupied France. Lieutenant Leisure, I know our listeners would enjoy hearing you describe some of those raids.
And in a way, I feel as if I owe you people a report. Every navigator does. If it weren't for the AT-7s you're turning out and the navigation equipment in each of them, a good many of us might not be here today.
Just what are the responsibilities of a navigator?
First, to get his plane to the theater of operations. Second, to get it over the target. Third, to get it home again. If you want to live to fight another day, you've got to hit every objective on the nose. We generally flew and bombed at well over 20,000 feet. At least half the time you had to expect an undercast, and at least half the time you got one. There were other problems, too. We took off one day last December to bomb the German submarine base at Lorient in a howling snowstorm. For hours we flew blind as a bat. And then we flew with the 1st American group to bomb Wilhelmshaven. The first and last legs of our trip were over the North Sea.
Wilhelmshaven is the big Nazi naval base on the Kiel Canal.
That's right, and we hit it in broad daylight. We flew by dead reckoning across the North Sea, and when we hit Wilhelmshaven, we really plastered it. We smashed the shipyards there to splinters. Then came the trip back, and that can be a good deal tougher than the trip out.
Why is that, Lieutenant?
Because your ship may be damaged by flak or Nazi fighters over the target. That day at Wilhelmshaven, the B-17 navigated by a friend of mine had a really tough job getting back. By the time she turned for home, one engine had been shot out. She managed to keep formation till we got back over the North Sea. Then the second engine conked, and she had to drop behind. Right away, a pack of Focke-Wulfs jumped her. To protect herself, the B-17 plunged straight into the clouds. It was a pilot's job to keep her...